Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album vs. Album, the King Diamond podcast with Wayne Noon, Greg Norgal, and sometimes this guy.
Smack him a gob!
Ralph Viera is also on our network with the Viera Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido. Ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast. And the great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. Welcome back to This Broadcast Belongs to Them. Hello, everybody. It's like we haven't seen each other in a long time.
I know.
But we are back this week, and we are doing In the Shadows. I had to switch there because microphone's on this side. In the Shadows. In the Shadows, one of the all-time greatest reunited albums ever, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I also love this version of the vinyl. This is a reissue. But it's cool. Gatefold. All the pictures of the band.
Oh, cool.
There. And
is that
it's
the one that just came out?
No, this is the old one.
Yeah, I have that one.
Back on Black, it's from. Yeah. And white vinyl. I don't have any white vinyl, but I thought that was pretty cool too. Bone white.
Oh, that's cool.
Bone white. So very cool album.
I have Angel Witch's first album on White Witch white vinyl.
I have it, Greg, and you and I have the pressing that only 500 were made.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
No
I
shit.
have that one as well.
Really cool. I remember buying this. This is actually my first Mercyful Fate album that I bought that was brand new when it came out. I bought it on cassette. I was very excited to get that because I saw the... I think actually the video came out first for Egypt, and it was on Headbangers Ball.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. And King Diamond made his interview on Headbangers Ball with Ricky Rackman. I thought that was so cool. I waited up. I had to watch that go on live at that night when it came on, and it was just so cool. It was weird to me because he was sitting there wearing glasses. I'm like, he didn't put no makeup on. He's just like a normal guy. And I was a little disappointed, but it was still cool to see him on there. So I'll never forget that. Lisa.
Yes.
You have something that you want to show us, too.
I do. Well, I know that you and I were in the same place, or we were doing the same thing at the same time, because I saw that interview live as well. Oh. So, but I have my brag about Mercyful Fate is I got to witness their very first show in the United States. And that was at the Roseland Theater in Portland, Oregon. And the day before, they came to For What It's Worth Records in Beaverton. They did an album signing. So I got to have an album signed by them. But this is a bootleg recording of, and it's just a piece of, it's like from the conspiracy era, and they just pieced it together. It's just white cardboard, and it's a bootleg of that concert, the first concert they ever did in the United States. There's not even anything on the album itself, but I found this online. I just bought this as a collector's item, just, to remind me that I was there, man.
What did you pay for it?
Cool.
What did I pay for it? It was probably like $8 or something. I don't know.
Damn, that's good.
That's
probably
cheap.
Super cheap. Slayer was supposed to open for them, but they had to reschedule the show, and they couldn't come up or something. So they rescheduled it for like 2 days later. So I'm not sure. I don't even remember who opened for them. I was just like, by the time they showed up, I was already just obsessed with Mercyful Fate.
What did you have signed?
I had Don't Break the Oath signed. It was just when it was released.
Oh, wow. You still have it?
Yep. I still have it. Yes,
Oh,
I
that's
do.
awesome.
But there are Sharpie scribbles all over it, and they were all very nice.
So you should have brought that on, too. Show us.
It's in a box somewhere, and I couldn't find it. Otherwise,
Blasphemer.
I know.
Should be hanging on your mantle.
it should be, but
I'm actually curious because I want to see.
No, I don't know. I want to hear your explanation.
because I moved from one place to another, and there's a box. I mean, this is fucking sad. There's a box of records that I can't locate because we have a big shared storage space with my nephew's stuff, my dad's stuff, my mom's old stuff, my husband's stuff, and it's all in there. And there's a box of records in there with like old Kiss albums, like German records with the square S's and stuff. There's all kinds of cool records in this box. And I just got to find this box, but I just haven't taken the time to tear everything apart to find it yet. So thanks for the reminder. I do need to tear that place up and find that damn box of records.
I hope it's
Not
there.
a problem.
No, I hope it's there too, because like I said, I don't have a record player. It's because I had a storage with my stepdad.
Sounds like there's going to be one dead nephew.
Where's my record? Anyway, enough.
I'm curious though how King signed his autograph.
He puts a little upside down cross.
Yeah, but I wonder if he did that back in the day too.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
I don't recall.
I think there's actually like pictures of it inside of the Don't Break the Oath reissue, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least ever finds it. We want to see it.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, I will.
Oh, and yes, I have a new shirt that King made me as well. The Return of the Vampire.
Yeah.
Fits
Oh,
the
very nice.
album good.
Very nice.
And interesting you guys mentioned that interview, because that was the first time I ever saw King Diamond 2. However, I was about 8 years old and I was up late watching TV, so it really blew my mind. And it took me a few years to have real money to get a record, but that was awesome seeing that. I used to try to watch that video whenever they would play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was still. I was kind of shocked too in a way, because finding out that was their first video that they ever did. Like, I was just amazed that they never did one earlier. But MTV obviously wasn't around then, and music videos, I guess, kind of existed, but not really. So I guess I can see why they never did one. But it was finally cool to see them do one. So many years later, from the album In the Shadows, and we'll start with the song Egypt.
Yes.
I love Egypt. Starts off with the acoustic guitar, and it comes in, and he's doing his thing, and screaming like King Diamond usually does.
Falsetto.
Falsettos, yes, thank you. One of my other top favorite Mercyful Fate songs ever. I love the double bass when they get into the verse part there, and then I also love the beginning of the song with the lead guitars and the double bass and stuff. Just a all-around great song. I mean, I can't really say much more about it, really. It's just epic song, great chorus, great verses, great guitar solos. Drumming's pretty cool too. Not Kim Ruz, unfortunately. But the guy who's on the album, Morten Nielsen, that's the other thing too. Snowy Shore's picture is on the album, but he is not in the album. He does not play anything on this.
Huh.
Nope.
No. So it's all Morten Nielsen. He was a hired drummer, and he does all the drumming, and he does a pretty decent job. Not Kim Rose, but he's good. Yeah, exactly. Solid. Next.
Great song. What can I say? You said everything there is to say.
Yeah.
It's I kind of like, the first time I heard it, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. You know, this is Mercyful Fate. You know, but after that little mellow section in the beginning, though it doesn't sound to it, but it's kind of like a homage to the beginning of Corpse Without a Soul. Like it is like such a ripping solo, like bam, you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For the longest time, my favorite songs were different on here, and now my favorite song off this album is Egypt. You know, it took a while. It took many years to, you know, finally, but it's been like, I don't know, 2-3 years. It's like, man, I'll never forget like driving around in my car with my iPod Shuffle, and Egypt comes on. I'm like, dude, this is the best song on the album. Why am I? Song rules, man. It's so good. Favorite line, wow, jackal head.
Yep.
I love that shit, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Greg.
Yeah, go for it, Greg.
You guys covered it all. Nothing else I can say about it. It's a great song.
Good.
It's my favorite song on the record, too. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Well, now you know why they made it a video. Their first video. The Bell Witch, another great song. Comes.
All of this song, especially the chorus when he does that. I am the air you breathe. I am the Bell Witch. You can just imagine him coming up behind you and grabbing your hair and sucking your fucking life force out because he's King Diamond and this is Mercyful Fate, you pussies.
I actually didn't know the Bell Witch was a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
It's Appalachian. Yeah. It's an Appalachian tale from Kentucky.
Yeah, and listen to the lyrics. And then when I only found that out a few weeks ago because my wife posted something on Facebook, and I'm like, wait a minute, the Bell Witch is a Mercyful Fate song called The Bell Witch, and I'm listening to it and I'm reading what the thing says. I'm like, shit, what's about that?
I know because I'm a redneck, so rednecks know about that story.
Yeah, so
from
it's
Appalachia.
Cool. Of course, I played my wife the song. She didn't like it. So. But, yeah, another really great song, and actually it ended up being, I guess technically the other single that they made off the album, because they made a little EP after this that had a couple live songs, but really great song. Great song. Again, can't really say much about it because there's just so many things on this album that are really great. Just a great song.
It's a Hank Sherman tune, and Hank is a master of dissonance. Really a master of dissonance, disharmony, just out of the major or minor key, but it all really works. It's got all this multi-instrumental, all these different parts. It's got funky bits in it. It's just, this song is crazy good. The vocals, the layered vocals, it's just really well produced. Man, yeah, this song kills. It's great.
I love it.
Love it.
It is awesome. The changes, the slow tempo in the beginning, and then the raising. And a side note, the video for this is a combination of an outdoor show and the Fort Lauderdale show I was at. Yeah, there's a guy, I forget his name now. He's a friend of a friend who actually knew King Diamond and got permission to shoot the whole show from the balcony with 2 separate cameras, and they're both in its entirety on YouTube. And I was all the way up front. Man, this show, I mean, you know how I am with Mercyful Fate. When that show happened down here, I got there at 2 p.m. First person there, because it's general admission. I was the first guy at that door. When they opened that door, I ran all the way up front, dead set against the railing. I'm like, Flotsam came out. They were great. But I wouldn't move. And, I mean, it was packed, too. And out of everybody up front, there was this really beautiful girl comes up to me and says, please, can I stand where you're standing? And I was like, I don't care how beautiful you are. See everybody here? I'm the last person to ask to take my place. She got mad at me, but that's fine. There's two parts of the show, too, that you can spot on video where King messes with me, really. During Dangerous Meeting, I forgot what line, but on Gypsy, when I go, you are the Satan's child, like he's pointing at me and I'm singing with him, and so am I. Then he points at me and goes, you better believe it! And you got to see the video, and I'm like, this is the greatest moment of my life. Definitely in my top 5 favorite shows of all time, In the Shadows. But yeah, the Bell Witch video is Fort Lauderdale. Like, all the indoor footage you see is from the show I was at, and it's great quality. You can see its entirety on YouTube. There's 2 separate angles, and check it out. It was such a great performance.
Yeah, definitely really cool.
Write that down.
Greg, anything?
Nope. You guys covered it. Love it.
Yeah,
great
good.
song. Cool story too, Ralph. That's fucking awesome.
The Old Oak. Do you remember the bridge? Do you remember the bridge that was standing in ruin? Do you remember the sign demons and witches were doing? Another really great song. The one thing, and I should have mentioned this earlier about this album, the production is a lot cleaner than on the first 2 albums.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it. I wish it was a little bit more dirtier sounding and a little bit more, maybe some more reverb and stuff in it. But this album just it's one of my favorite all-time albums to begin with. So there's just really nothing bad about this thing at all. But the production, I love how the album is produced. The Old Oak, another song. I can't say nothing bad. It's hard to talk about this album because I love every song just about. There's maybe one song that I'm not crazy about. But the Old Oak, I love the story of the song. Oh, that's the other thing, too. On this album, I feel the songs are more towards like a King Diamond album than more of a Mercyful Fate album, I think.
They are a little bit, and that's actually probably the only thing I really don't like about it. I would have liked at least one song about the devil. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because every song seems like it's a concept. Yeah.
You're right.
There is kind of a devil
Fun about that.
on here, but we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Old Oak. I mean, it's a great song. Cool chorus.
I think the
Old
Oak
hanging tree.
Yeah, I think it's the hidden gem on here. You know, as far as I know, it's never been played live. You know, it's one of those long opus that only Mercyful Fate can do. You know what I'm saying? You know, millions of changes all matched up and cramming killer changes and killer riffs all through it. And I think it's a dark horse on this album. I love Old Oak.
Like 9 minutes long almost. This song.
Yeah, that's a
really
very
long
epic
song.
It's a great song. It's one of their best epics. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the ending. It's almost like, you know, my husband, sometimes he hears me like I'm singing along with metal, you know, and he says, oh, it sounds like a show tune to me. So, can you believe sacrificing their own? You know, it's like totally metal show tune at the end of this track. So it's like neoclassical stuff and headbanging stuff and mosh pit stuff. It's just all there in like one 9-minute song with this epic story and this awesome production. Tim Kimsey, I wrote his name down. He was actually a Grammy-nominated engineer. He was nominated for a Grammy for a Christian album.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
And he did this album. He did Time. He did The Graveyard. And man, the guy knows his shit.
Oh, wow.
Everything's very clear. You can hear all the instruments. Everything sounds louder than everything else in a way. You can hear everybody really clear. I think it's really well produced. The vocals, the layered vocals, primo producer.
Yeah, definitely. The production's really good on this album. Not like the old albums, but it's good. For this, it needed to be cleaner because it wouldn't have worked with the old production. You know, I don't think the song would have worked as well.
Yeah, very precise performances.
Yeah,
what?
I do think this one's really like the centerpiece of the album, though. I've always felt it comes too early in the track list. I think
You're
it should have been a couple songs back.
You're right. Yeah, kind of too long to be so in front of the album. You're right.
Well,
too
too multi-dimensional. Yeah. I like it better than Legend of the Headless Rider, though. It would have been totally fine if they would have swapped places with it. Because I feel like the old Oak would lead into Is That You, Melissa really well. But
yeah, that's the other thing, too. Well, we'll get to that anyway later. Next song, Shadows.
Yeah.
This is probably the most catchy chorus they ever wrote.
I think it's also the song that sounds the most like a King Diamond song.
Yeah. It's almost...
It
almost
really
does.
Like yeah.
Almost, I don't want to say poppy, but it's very... the chorus is so catchy, I guess it could maybe be kind of lumped in like almost a pop.
I don't know if I'd really say poppy. It has that more melodic feel to it, like a lot of his songs do on Them and Conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's got that beat it's in gypsy. You know, that bonk, 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 that kind of beat. But this song always makes me think, I would love to see the Muppets make a King Diamond Muppet and do this song with a King Diamond Muppet dancing around, because that's the beat. Just makes me think.
Dude, a King Diamond Muppet doing the beginning of the Electric Company. We're gonna turn it on. We're gonna bring you the
power.
Why not?
There is a King Diamond Muppet. I have seen the King Diamond Muppet. It was actually my avatar on Facebook. Yeah, somebody made one. Yeah. I don't know where I found the picture from, but somebody does have one.
You guys ever heard of a Japanese anime called Bastards?
Yes, I have.
It has King Diamond. What is it called?
Yeah.
King of Diamond or something, but it's King Diamond with fangs. You know,
oh, yes, I did hear of that, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I forgot all about that. You know what's odd about this song, and I made a note of it, the chorus, he's singing at kind of a low register in his voice. And that's really unusual, because usually he at least has, you know, one little flourish that goes like way up high or something. But yeah, I think he's doubling, he's doing an octave, but for the most part, that chorus, he's just singing really low.
Yeah, the main
so
part
it's odd. Yeah, it's an odd tune, but very commercial. It's got a good beat. You can dance to it. I'll give it a 10.
It's my favorite riff on the whole album. How this album starts, that song starts, so simple yet so effective. You know, I love the way King goes deep in the night, clearer than daylight. It's just dun 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 dun. Very simple, not really to be expected. You know, but it works. It's hooky. There's hooks in this song. And I really love Shadows, which, again, I don't think this has ever been played live, which is odd, because it's kind of the title track.
Interesting. It almost reminds me of Curse of the Pharaohs a little bit. I think that's a very similar
little bit with part of the riff.
Okay.
Yeah. Similar feel.
Anyway, yeah, I do really like the song. It's just this one so happens to remind me of his solo career a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I think all these kind of do. And maybe this was really supposed to be Spider's Lullaby. Who knows? Or before Spider's Lullaby. I don't know.
These songs are definitely Mercyful Fate.
Yeah, well, he wrote that song by himself. That's a King Diamond song.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and there's other songs that like Hank Sherman wrote. And then there's songs that they wrote together. So, it kind of straddles that line.
Yeah. Well, apparently, remember, Greg, when we were talking to Mike Denner and Hank Sherman were getting back together to work on something. I don't remember what it was. And that's why Mercyful Fate got back together, because the songs that they were doing, which I guess probably ended up on his album anyway, sounded like Mercyful Fate.
Right. I remember him saying that, yeah.
So... all right, now we get to a song that's probably not one of my favorites. A Gruesome Time. This one, I don't know.
This song.
You like this song?
I like it a lot.
Oh no, I do like this song. All right, I'm thinking of the next one. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. What I really like this song is the part where deep inside your head, I'm causing you pain. Deep inside your head, causing you pain, eternal pain. I love that part. It's very catchy. I like the slow part with the acoustic guitar in there and everything, and how he says it kind of spookily, if that's a word. Spookily.
Sure.
But it's a cool song.
I love the riffs in the song too. This is the one that sounds the most like old school Mercyful Fate to me. I mean, the whole album sounds like Mercyful Fate, but this one really has the feel of like Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. Love this song.
Yeah, Denner and King Diamond co-wrote this tune, so maybe that's why. It's just a really well-written song. It's well arranged. The performances are great. I think it's one of his best vocal performances ever. You know, when he sings that eternal pain, you just feel it, man. You just totally feel it. I think it's great. And Timmy, you know, there's this point where he's doing just these eighth notes, you know, and just laying it down, man. The dude just laid it down. It does have one thing that's weird about it. Oh, the guitar solo also is killing. But it's got this weird fade out. Does it sound to you like they almost had another part of the song, like they were going to do something else with the song, but they said, that sucks. Let's just fade it out.
Yeah, because at the end of the song, he's singing lyrics. He says, I've come to give you a gruesome time for all the evil you have done. I'll keep coming until the end. I'll keep coming back, my friend. And it kind of ends before he even does that last line.
It's kind of weird.
So
it's
why
almost
wouldn't
like
you...
it was an error, like something went wrong in the studio, and they just said, okay, we'll fade it out.
Instead of redoing it over, we'll just do it, fade it here. Yeah. But you'd think they would have faded it after he said that last line, but...
Well, I believe it's a song about a murder, right? Maybe it cuts off abruptly, you know, like life ending by a knife, possibly. Could be a theme.
Could be. I don't know. That's a good reason. I'll take it.
I'm just guessing. Yeah.
Ralph, a gruesome time.
Yeah, I pretty much mirror what you guys are saying. I really love like the heavy sections of the song. You know, the mellow section is really pretty spooky, but yet beautiful. And I like all. You know, again, man, Mercyful Fate of the King of the Changes, and the way they. It's kind of like a mini roller coaster ride on this one, and it's a cool tune, man. Gruesome time. I dig it.
Yeah, very cool song. Well, I'm going to end it here for side one, and we're going to go to an interview or a little chat that we had with. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
Michael Denner, Snowy Show.
Oh yeah, no, Michael Denner.
Ooh, cool.
And then next week, we're going to have from them, the drummer from them, Angel Cote, will be on the next episode. That's what I was trying to think of. All right, so we will be back next week with Angel Cote. And for now, check out our interview with Michael Denner. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. So the Into the Shadows album, when we were talking to Snowy Show about that, he wasn't actually on the album, and you got Session. Let me start that over. Session drummer.
We took the guy from Sosa Mess.
Okay.
For the Sosa Mess sessions, we took him over to Dallas and make him do the drums. But he and King didn't work out. It was not good.
Yeah.
It didn't work, you know. So King sacked him while I was away. I went back to Copenhagen, and when I returned to do my recordings, he was sacked. And then he brought in Snowy, from which he played with him on the Eye album, the King Diamond album, The Eye.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, Snowy was part of that. So he brought in Snowy, you know, and then. So I think he was. Yeah, he's on the cover of In the Shadows, even though he don't play on the album.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this was very confusing when I got the cassette back in the day.
Yeah.
And I open up.
Another guy who plays the drums. Morten Nielsen is a great drummer, you know, but not in the same league as Snowy. You know.
Oh no, not at all. Snowy is
no one. Nearly no one is. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But
when we talked to him, I think we worked that out. What was it we came out? Oh, him and Terry Bozzio.
For me it's Snowy and Jan Pace from Deep Purple.
Ah,
okay.
nice.
They're my two favorite drummers.
Nice.
Yeah.
But Morten Nielsen did a good job, I think. I think.
Yeah, he did. He played. He played what he was ordered to play.
Yeah.
That was the spirit in the studio. He was very limited. I mean, you play what's been told. And he was on the edge of a nervous breakdown. And for that reason, King felt that he was not able to have the nerve to be in that band.
Right.
So I mean, somehow it was the right decision to make. Even though Morten was a great drummer and a very, very nice guy, a very nice person. Yeah.
Was Timmy also thought of because you weren't doing the previous band with Timmy? So did King want to have him in the band too? And obviously Timmy was ready to do it because he's on the album.
Timmy was ready to do it, but he was. I do believe he was in the middle of a divorce, a very tough divorce, and he had 2 children. There was a lot of personal problems in his family. Mm. So he was only there for a limited time. I knew that this will not last for long,
Yeah.
Because, but as a reunion thing, and also because it is so easy for Timmy just to grab the bass and play.
Right.
So we thought that this could be nice to just bring him as long as possible before he had to fold it, just to keep. So we are 4 of the old guys in the band,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
especially for a reunion album.
We knew from the very beginning that this with Timmy it's only a matter of time. Then we have to then he has to leave, because of his family.
Yeah. That's when that album came out. I was just actually getting into King Diamond stuff. Probably around 1991ish, 92.
Yeah,
and when that came out, I was like really excited to hear it because first of all the artwork on the front album of the album cover.
Oh, yeah.
That's got really nice artwork.
Yeah.
Is that like something like how Melissa was? You just saw the artwork somewhere, or did you?
No, actually, the artwork this time around, I believe it was the same painter from. I'm not absolutely sure, but it was the guy who have done King Diamond covers, Abigail, or the guy who actually did Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. Mm-hmm. One of these 2 guys. 2 Swedish guys who work together, So this was, I think this was like with Abigail, the Abigail cover. It was an idea, and then the painter did the artwork out of the lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out real good. And how did Lars Ulrich get involved with doing?
He heard we reunited. And he was just finishing a big Metallica tour. Mm-hmm. So it was one of his first of his long-awaited vacation. He just skipped his vacation plans and took a plane to Dallas, phoned a local drum shop, and said, "I'm Lars Ulrich. I want you to this and this drum kit. It should be in this studio." And I will use it, and thank you very much. And they did it. So his drum kit was ready for him, and just went in. We hugged, and great to see you, man. And then he just started playing.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
And who rearranged the song? Because obviously it was a lot different from the version that's on the Night of the Vampire.
Exactly. We rearranged the song. I think it was done in the studio, part of it, and the rest of it was during the years. We changed it a bit, because it never was released on any official album.
Right.
And it's also one of the very, very first Mercyful Fate songs written, with different titles. And I don't actually I can't remember what it was called before. It was called Return of the Vampire.
So how did that song get picked?
Pardon?
How did that song get picked to do?
Because it was a song that Lars knew from. We were trading tapes, with the very first Metallica songs, Mechanics and all these early Four Horsemen and so on. And he got some tapes for me, with the Mercyful Fate demos and the very first, the early songs. So I believe he spent years listening to these tapes, and he picked out the songs. Say, oh, it could be nice to do this, that could be a nice song to redo. So we did it.
Yeah, that's cool. You got a favorite song on this album, In the Shadows?
On In the Shadows, Bell Witch.
Right, okay, yep.
The Bell Witch, yeah. A very strong and heavy song. And then again with some, like I said, when we were on stage playing Bell Witch, then I know in 1 minute there will be a very nice part for me to play. So, yeah.
I see a pattern here.
Yeah. But then again, I do believe it's like that with many lead guitarists.
Yeah, of course.
Some of their favorite songs are the part where they can shine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, you do need to be a bit like have an ego to be to be in that position, standing on stage and play a lead guitar solo. So, yeah.
You have to be able to have the confidence to shine during the solo. Yeah.
All right, so after In the Shadows, you did Time. Now, was there anything different about this album besides not having Timmy there? And now you're actually playing with Snowy, and you got the new bassist. It was Charlie D'Angelo, right?
What?